Hello, hello. Okay. Uh, it took a little while for it to be able to connect. I don't know why today, but we should be good to go now. Let me make sure everything's going. Okay. So, um, also it's saying my connection's not very good. Um, Hopefully it'll cooperate. I'm up in my studio and sometimes my connection isn't as great up here. Um, Hopefully it'll participate the rest of this live session. Anyways, as I was saying, I really wish I could do music while I was doing these lives because I'm like literally always listening to music. But I'm really nervous that um, YouTube will take my video down again for copyright issues if I have music, since they took it down for copyright issues when I didn't even have music playing. So, but yeah, today, let me grab. We are working on the Finding Home costume. So, as I mentioned, let me pull up Patreon just in case people are having issues connecting. Because sometimes you guys will comment there that there's an issue. So I just want to have that open just in case. Okay. So it seems like everything is good. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, yesterday, hello Adriana. I was waiting for you to get on here. Yesterday I mentioned that I had found more fabric. And by fabric I mean a curtain and the train of a wedding dress. And so yesterday I dyed it. And look at all of, let me stand up. Like, look at all of this fabric. There's a ton of it. So, job with making the skirt, the overlay skirt, that's sheer. It's gonna make that job a lot easier because it already has lace on the bottom and it's sheer. And since it has lace on the bottom, I know it's a pretty sturdy material that it can take me sewing other stuff on top of it. So, very happy coincidence. But other than that, so I finished dyeing all of this from the last live. I'm going to try to move this so the lighting is maybe a bit better because I think that window is backlighting it and you can't see as well. Also, I'm going to shut this because it bugs me that it's open. Yeah, it's like the perfect color. I'm so in love with how it turned out. Okay. And then the thing that I was working on last time I was on live, painting the pink. So it does look like a baby's room colors. But I was thinking, I'll do these, today I'm going to cut these into strips. So I'll cut like the blue and the pink. But then I also have, I can remember where I put it. Oh, and I need to sneeze just a minute. Whew, okay. I also have this, which ties in the pink and the blue. And then I was like, well, I'll just pull, because remember how last time I was like, I don't know what other colors to do so that this doesn't look like a baby's room. And so I thought I could just look at this because I've always wanted to use this on this costume. So why not pull color inspiration from it? So the background is the baby blue. And then it also has this green color that I thought I could use, maybe a little less dark. So I think I might also dye some things this color. And then potentially also doing like some yellow or gold. So that is what I'm going to do to kind of hopefully take it away from like being just like a baby boy, baby girl type situation. I have to show you Echo. She's so cute right now. Look at how cute you are, Echo. Anyway, so I have gold thread. I think I will sew some like gold detailing on as well. And then this, to make my job easier with this sheer fabric, I'm going to make this the waistband of that skirt, because I was going to have it here anyway, so why not make it like actually a functional part of the costume. And then I'll use it in other places as well. But that was kind of my thoughts I thought I would share with you. And I guess I will go ahead and get started on cutting this. And then hopefully in a bit, I can't stay on here for super long today. So hopefully in a bit I will start. I have my mannequin just right off the screen right here. I might pull that out and I might start pinning the skirt on there and seeing what we've got. So I already, before I went on live, I went and sewed on here. I am blanking on what it's called, but a super wide stitch so that I can cut this and then I can, you pull on one string and you can kind of start to gather it like that. So I figured it was just easier to do it now. And I just snapped the string, dang it. Easier to do it now before it's like in a million strips. So, but hopefully this part will go fast and then I can kind of show you. I want to get a pink cutout so that I can gather it and kind of see what it would look like on the skirt. So I'll get these two cut out and then I'll start putting the rest of the skirt on the mannequin. So Adriana, what are you cooking today? Finishing off the pot pie from the other day, and tomorrow I'll be making lasagna. Ooh, both of those sound excellent. I do love a good lasagna, although I'm kind of picky. I really only like lasagna if it's made with a bechamel sauce, which is like super unhealthy for you, but I don't think anyone is eating lasagna for the health benefits. You know what I keep forgetting to do? And I don't think I have my phone up here. Is I keep forgetting to set my phone up in like a time lapse so that I can make a video like with the Heartbreak costume where I can do a time lapse of everything. You know, of me creating the whole costume from beginning to end. All right. So I just did 2 because I figured I wasn't going to have a lot of time on this live because, once again, I have contract work that I have to get done today. And I want to do that before, like, I want to get it all done before 5. So you just use pasta sauce for your lasagna. Hey, no judgment. I just use pasta sauce for, like, literally any time I make any kind of Italian food. So I tried one time to make my, like, spaghetti sauce from scratch, and I honestly did not like it as much. So I don't know if that means I, like, didn't pick a good recipe, or I don't know. I don't know. So I'm no judgment here. So I have been thinking, and I'll get your thoughts on this, Adriana. And if anyone's watching the rerun of this later, you can answer this in the comments on my Patreon or on YouTube. Do you like the 2 o'clock time? Would you prefer it later in the day, earlier in the day? I just kind of honestly picked this time very arbitrarily. Okay, you can see I'm doing, like, the gathers now. I picked this time very arbitrarily because I was like, why not 2? Like, literally, the thought process was like, I'll just pick a time. How about 2 o'clock? So if there's another time that works better, let me know, because I am totally open to changing that. The only thing I would like to avoid is, like, evenings. Just because I feel like that's the time you get to spend with your family. 2 to 3 range is good for me. Okay. And I'll keep doing this. So is 3 o'clock too late? Like, for those times that, like, I can't make it by 2, is 3 o'clock still okay? So, like, as long as it's any time between, like, 2 and 4 o'clock, it's good, or does it need to be, like, between 2 and 3? Three is fine too. All right. Cool beans. Four is a little late, but you'd still tune in. Okay. Good to know. I suppose when we get more people watching this live, then if we need to change it to accommodate more people, we can. But until then, I'll just keep going with the same old, same old. You doing anything fun this weekend? Did I ask this already in one of the other live streams this week? Sometimes I lose track of what I've already asked. Oh, why are you sad, Echo? Why are you sad, little lady? That diamond painting kit that you're doing, Adriana, is just like so fascinating to me. I've never seen anything like it, and like I kind of want one right now, but I do not have the free time for that. Also, I'm the personality where like once I start something like a puzzle or like a paint by number or something like that, like I just get so sucked in and I like have the hardest time making myself stop. So I like end up staying up like way too late or not getting the things that I should be getting done. So I have to kind of stay away from those, unfortunately, because otherwise I wouldn't be making cool costumes for passages, which is a lot more important to me right now. So. But I do feel very fortunate that it seems like this contract work is working out in such a way that I can still do all these live broadcasts and I can still be spending time on my photography, which is like honestly something I've been dreaming about being able to do, like literally since I graduated college 7 years ago. So it's been a long time coming, and I am very excited that things seem to be working in that direction. Okay, so I have this all rough like gathered, and obviously this is let me get it undone from my fingers. Obviously this is a little too like the circumference or whatever isn't wide enough to like go around the skirt. So it will be like a couple different pieces all attached and then sewn on. But this will give me an idea of what it'll look like. You got it on the Wish app for cheap. Oh, okay, cool. I've never ordered anything from Wish, but I'm always very intrigued. Also, I accidentally snapped my thread here, which is a bummer. So I'm gonna need to do a little finagling. Yeah, I think it looks good so far. So we'll just do this one. Might need to get a needle and rethread. I snapped it from here to here. So I need to redo that part. Have you ordered anything else from Wish? Like, have you been happy with the things you've gotten from Wish, Adriana? I just need to remember where my needles are. Maybe I have one on here and I'll get lucky. Because I don't know that I know where the rest of my needles are. Well, I can't find my needles. I usually have like a box of needles and I have misplaced it, so um, that is unfortunate. Stuff is always pretty good quality, but you have to really pay attention where it's coming from because sometimes it'll take super long to get, or sometimes the shipping will cost more than the item. Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like, I've looked on it a lot. I've just never purchased anything. And, like, yeah, it's definitely one of those places where, like, you have to be patient and not need anything in a rush. Um, Kind of like Zulily. I've done Zulily a few times, and, you have to wait like a month before you get your stuff. But it's a really good deal on the things that you do get, so it's worth it. And when I back away, like when I set the computer far away so you can see me working on the skirt, don't judge on how messy this room is. So after every project, like after I complete a project, so when I was done with Heartbreak, I completely clean my studio and get it back organized again. And then like within like 3 days of starting a new project, it's like already back to like explosion zone. So, which is why I need like a like creative studio space because um, I hate messes. Like I hate when things are not organized, but when I'm creating something, I need it to just be like, I don't know, it's like a different side of my brain is like working and I don't seem to mind the mess then. But then it's like when it's time for me to stop working on it for the day, like I don't want to see the mess. So I need somewhere for it to be like locked away and unseen until I can get back to it again. Okay, good. It's a clean mess. I mean, it's only this clean because I cleaned up about a week ago. It will get much worse. Okay. If you're a substitute teacher, do you get, I'm assuming you only get paid when you substitute teach. Is that correct? So like you wouldn't be bringing in any money over the summer. I hate cleaning during the middle of a project because inevitably you put away what you really need and then can't find it. Yep, exactly. That is exactly how I feel. It's not a contracted position. You only get paid for what you work. Yeah. Well, that's kind of a bummer that you've basically had like, I don't know where you are if you're in Texas or Oklahoma. And I don't really remember when school stopped, but I'm guessing like mid to end March. So what is that, like a 5-month summer, 4-month summer? It's a long summer. It's a long time to not get paid. It's got to be stressful. Okay. So I have this done, except for this one little end. And I accidentally snapped because I'm a dum-dum. I can do like this bit, but it'll just pull it out. Yeah. So when I find my needles, I'll need to take this long end and sew it back through the holes. But I need to find my needle for that. Yeah, I was the same when I lost my job. Like, I was really fortunate in that, well, one, they gave me a severance, so I got a month of pay. And then I also had a pretty decent savings to fall back onto, which is basically what I've been living off of until this point. And things have been tight, but we're kind of, I feel like I'm getting towards the tail end of it, which is nice. Hopefully it's the tail end. Okay, so let me set you up. Let me check the time. Okay, 2:30. I probably need to end this in about like 10, 15 minutes because I just need to get that contract work done. And I don't want to be working until like 6 p.m. on a Friday. So this is the heartbreak dress that I haven't hung up yet. Part of it is because I think we walked through a patch of poison ivy, and I'm worried there's poison ivy on the dress. And so I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, just don't deal with it right now. Just deal with it later. But I need to just, I don't know what to do with it, which is why I haven't done anything. Come on. There we go. Okay, and I need to make this super tall because the skirt is going to be like taller than she is. So my thought process was, because in some of the photos, hi Echo, hi, you're so sweet. You want to say hi to everyone? You're kind of showing off your butt right now. So in some of the photos, I want her walking through the field and like actually in the process of walking, which means she needs to be able to be mobile in this dress, not just always standing on a chair or stool or whatever. And so my thought was that tight underlayer is going to be about like a little bit longer than ankle length. Like, it'll probably just like hit the top of her feet, so she can still walk in it. And then the sheer thing will be really low, but I'm going to make it so that it kind of like can tack up like a wedding dress train is kind of my thought, but like all on all sides it'll do that. Hopefully it'll look good. And yes, I am using Chloe again. So I am going to be using Chloe in probably like 95% of the photos because she is going to be playing. So I don't know if I've really discussed, maybe I have, let's see. The intent of Passages is it's going to be a coffee table book. I probably mentioned this a lot, but I don't want it to be just like a random compilation of pretty pictures thrown together, which is fine, but I really want it to, I say read, even though I don't know that there's going to be words in it. I don't know that anything is actually going to be written, but I want it to read like an actual story. So it has like a main protagonist and a storyline. And so I'm going to be using Chloe as the model for basically anytime the protagonist needs to be in the picture, she'll be in it. And then there might be times when there's other people, or it's like her and other people. But yeah, that's the intent. So I have this up super high, and let me see. I kind of want, so right now this curtain, hi Echo, she's probably gonna come try to lay on this because that's what dogs do. Right now it's gathered at the top, but I kind of want it to be like a very clean line. But I'm going to pin it up the way it is right now just to see what it looks like. And then put the waistband on it and just decide whether or not I need to take the, because right now it's all nicely like sewn together and it's not going to fray or anything. So it would be nice if I didn't have to mess with that, but it might not fit the look that I'm going for. So let's see. I'm going to bring this out more like here. My other stuff. To give it plenty of room to spread. Okay. And I need my outfit right there. Okay. There's like a wad of like yarn tied up at the end of this, and I'm not really sure why. Shows you I didn't look at this too closely before I decided to dye it. But I'm trying to get it so that the front here is the middle of the fabric, so rather than just pinning it randomly, so that I know that I'm in the very center of the fabric. Okay, so I'm gonna pin it. So, okay. Let's see where we're at. Okay, yeah, so this is a lot taller than I thought it was. So I think I'm gonna need to like make this. Let's see, where are we? How much taller is this? I'm probably gonna have to be a little bit taller, but I can't, the mannequin a little bit taller, but I can't move it up anymore, otherwise I won't be in the thing. So we're just gonna have to kind of guesstimate on the length, which is fine because it's so long it doesn't need to be like exact. It does drape quite nicely in the fan. And I do think it's too full up here because it kind of gives her like a little bit of a pooch. So I'm gonna pull this up. Actually, I think I might cut the top off now. Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. You can tell I like very thoroughly think these things through as I'm working on them. Trying to figure out a way to make sure this is in the center. Okay, this is pretty close to the center. So let's see how we're doing here. Okay. I think I want it to be about this height. So I'm going to start pinning. It to the bodice. Hopefully you can hear me. Let's see. Okay. I think I will have to gather it in the back. But you can kind of get a sense for how it's kind of flowing away. And that's what I want it to look like on all sides of her body. So right now I'm just laying it, I don't know if you can see, I'm kind of laying it on the floor and I'm putting this where I want it to be so that I can visually see the train of the dress, and then I'll pull this stuff taut, but this way I can get the curve correct. And obviously none of this is like technically the most professional, but just kind of working with what I've been able to teach myself. So I'm trying to be really careful to keep the gathers not on the front because again, I don't want to have that like little pooch that having gathers on the front tend to create. Whereas it is more than okay to have a little bit of an extra volume on the behind. So trying to coax most of the volume to come from there. That didn't pin right. So I'm just gonna, for now, gosh, why won't it let me pin there? I'm just gonna, for now, pin this side and see what the little ruffles that I just did look like. And then I think I'm gonna call it good. I hate pinning things on the side of the mannequin because it's so freaking hard. All right. So it's pinned good enough for now. So remember I put them. I'm going to just pin these on here on the front just to see what it looks like because the front is where there's no gathers. I think I'm gonna have to do a seam down the side because I think I don't want there to be any gathers at all on this, which makes it a lot more complicated, but we'll deal with it. It'll be worth it. Okay. And I'll turn this when I'm done pinning so you can see. I can already tell you I'm going to be swearing a lot when I create this thing because working with this type of material is just like, it is the absolute worst. But where's my other one? Where's my other ruffle? Ah. Okay, I'm really liking how this is looking. I'm well pleased. All right, so rather than moving the whole dress, I'll just move you. So I don't, again, I think, sorry, kind of shaky for a minute. I wish I could get this all like in better. Maybe if I come from up above. There. So I do feel like I don't love, because I thought maybe once I got it up, I'd be more okay with the pink and the blue. I still don't love the pink and the blue. But I think once I add other colors, actually, let me do that right now. I keep lying to you. I keep saying I'm going to be done as soon as I do this, and then I just get carried away. I'm going to add the green on here, see what that looks like. Okay. So I do think with the green, it makes it a little less like baby room pink and blue. But I do think I'm gonna need more than just this belt. I think I'm gonna need some green layers and some yellow layers to go here as well. But this is a really haphazard first little like kind of test run of what the skirt will look like. So I think what I have learned from kind of throwing this all together quickly is I do need to do the dress rather than gathering it in the back, because in order to sew the ruffles on, it'll be a lot easier if it's just like a smooth surface. And so there can't be any ruffles or ruching and gathers on this mesh underside. It needs to just be like simple, which means I need to construct the skirt out of different panels. So like a panel, hi Petra. So like the front will be a panel, and then the side here will be a panel. And then I'm trying to do this backwards. I'm like really failing. And then the back will be probably 2 panels. So I think that's how I'm going to have to construct it, because I think it looks too, I want the effect to be really sheer, and when you gather it, it kind of takes away from that sheerness. So that being said, I think this is a good place to stop. And sorry you just joined, Petra, but I gotta get going. So maybe next time, if you can comment like on the Patreon or wherever, if it's easier for you to join at 3, I can move it. I can move my daily broadcast to 3 instead of 2. So an hour later, because I don't know what time it is where you are. Just let me know if that would make it easier for you to join, because we love having you on here and love getting to chat with you. But I think I am going to sign off now. Thanks for joining, guys, and hopefully next time I'm working on this, I'll have made a little bit more progress so I can show you what's happening. But in the meantime, have a good weekend, and I will see you guys later.